I think there's a good possibility that we could see that. Now, coming into the week, we're pretty optimistic that we'd see cash firm up a little bit. And yesterday, with some coming across the board, 113 and 114, it's a little bit disappointing. I think part of that was the fact that we saw the break in the board and the Packers weren't really on a rush. So we see the cash market maybe subside a little bit, and I think that's going to continue to put pressure on prices here near term. On top of that, the big headwind for the fat cattle is that the feeder cattle are rolling over with the higher corn prices, and that is a big headwind. Ultimately, I'd like to be long fat cattle, but this is a very tough market to be long. Obviously, we're looking for that basis to narrow up quite a bit, but we need to see, as you had mentioned earlier, cash firm up and stabilize. We've got a holiday right around the corner. Hopefully, we can fire up some demand from that, but we really need to see cash stabilize, not just 1 week, but consecutive weeks, and potentially firm up, and I think that's when you get the board moving north again.
Is it just as tough to be long in the feeders too, and probably more difficult because of the corn price and what the weather forecast is saying here?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been talking with a lot of clients here over the past couple of weeks, and we are not as optimistic on the feeders and actually more pessimistic because of our viewpoint on the grain markets. We think there's obviously more room to work higher there, which would be a major headwind for the feeder. So we have been working with producers and speculative traders alike and kind of reducing that risk and trying to capitalize on that downward pressure. Now, how much downward pressure could there be? I think that's going to be the big question mark going forward. We've come off so much here over the last 2 months that it's hard to say that we're going to have another break lower like that. So if you're playing it and looking for the short side, not sure there's a whole lot of juice left in that grape, but still a lot of headwind for this market. That August contract really in control by the bears until consecutive closes out above 140.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Oliver Sloup, Blue Line Futures, there at the edge of the trading floor in Chicago, Janet.